In this week's video, we are playing with a Mark IV pure grey Caddy and it's in for some upgrades. It is already a really nice van, but there's a few small improvements that the customer has requested. First job on the list are to gloss black these front grills. They need priming first, so I want to get them in primer and then we look at the other bits. There's a few bits to do, but not too much. Let's get into it. Hopefully you guys saw the beach dubbing video. Tiring event. It was yesterday, Sunday. Today's Monday. I'm a little bit groggy, but we shall get there. Time stops for no one. Well, that weren't too bad. We need to gloss black the grills, but also he wants some fog lights. I've picked something up from AliExpress. It's a fog light kit, and I believe it fits this. I'm going to get this on the panel stand, and we'll have a better look at the fog lights. I believe this is a trend line or a low line bumper that's been painted and colour coded, because the high line, I don't know, I think this is a low line. Not sure, but it's nice. We like it. Pulled the fog light, or where the fog light trim would be out. There is a plastic housing, it's a bit flappy. I could see a few plastic welds have been broken. Someone's been here before. I will have to fix them. On AliExpress, you can get 2 of these. It's not an advert, by the way, I'm not selling anything. 2 fog lights and a wiring loom kit. It's about 110 quid, maybe 105. It took about 2 weeks to turn up. I couldn't find them anywhere else locally, eBay or any forums or anything like that, so I did just buy them off AliExpress. Turned up, super happy. They also come with a wiring loom, a whole kit to do the fog lights, but I believe I'm just going to wire them in the same as I have on a few Caddies in the past, and that's straight to the fuse box that's ignition. So then the fog lights that I'm going to put LEDs in, they come on as a DRL and run all the time. I've just had a little butcher's because I didn't want to offer it up on camera and nothing happen or it not work at all. Now this plastic bezel housing assembly, it is a bit flappy. I'm going to fix it. I don't know about the other side yet, I haven't looked. But it does seem to line straight up-ish with screw holes. There we go. Let's get one screw in it for now. Temporary, definitely not permanent. Or let me just put 2 in, because then there is a possibility of that being permanent. We are going to paint all the grills gloss black. This one, and these bezels. Gloss black grills on a Mark IV look very, very good. How does that clip in? Well, that goes in from the back. So I've already made a mistake. So that grill needs to go in from the back, then the fog light. I can't put that in from the front. How annoying. But it is all going to fit. I can see this was a low line bumper that's been painted, because there's a bit of masking tape and I can see the edge. So we need to tape up to that. So yes, I'm happy. AliExpress fog light kit and grills fits the Mark IV bumper. Now I have just thought of one thing. My whole plan up until now was to take the grills out of the bumper, but because this is a low line, star line, those grills don't come out the bumper. So annoyingly, I've got to tape the whole bumper up to rub these down, plastic prime them, rub them down again. That is going to be a bit of a problem. Well, it's not a problem, it's just a pain in the arse. 2 videos in a row that I've recorded now. Beach dubbing yesterday, this one today, and the sun isn't shining. It's the middle of August. No, it's not. It's the middle of summer, the start of August, and I've got a jumper on. Need a hot climate, or at least a sunny climate, all year round. That is the goal for DTE and family. My own ranch, loads of caddies, loads of transporters, some crafters maybe, sun all year round, a camera, no interruptions, perfect. Maybe one day, I'll keep chipping away. I have already rubbed down the fog light bezels. Is that the right word? I've rubbed those down. And to get that desired effect, I've got 240 in my hand. I've taped up around it. If you're a novice, tape a bit further. .240 in my hand. I'm just knocking the head off of the texture. And then I'm going to go over it with a brand new red scuff pad. Scuff pad, scotch pad. I watch quite a lot of American YouTubers and they use different terms and it's starting to rub off on me. I do apologise. A red scotch pad, that was new until I'd done the fog light bezels. They're done. I'm now onto the grills. I've done the bottom one and what a terrible, terrible job this is. You've got to do it by hand and let's move the bumper up. These tiny little areas, they're inverted lines. Now, if you've ever seen someone's paintwork or someone's grill, any paintwork, and they're paint flaking off, that is because they might have rubbed down all of the nice and easy to get to places, but the really small nitty gritty areas, that's where they missed, and that is where the paint's going to peel off. So you need to do a really thorough job. I'm already an hour or so in. A bit annoying, I've got to tape these up to prime them, to paint them. TMG do offer this as a service. Check out tmgvans.shop, mention DTTV, you get a bit of a discount. They offer this as a service, so if you don't want to rub your fingers down to a point, you can drop it off and they will gloss black your grills, no problem. I need to carry on with this. I'm almost there. That one's done. We have also got to do the body mouldings as well, but in this video, I'm going to take them off. Let me rub this out. We'll get everything in the booth. Morning, guys. It is the following morning. Oh, I did want to get these in primer last night because then they would have been dry now. But after prepping, scotching and cleaning, I wanted to make sure there was no dirt, grime or anything. The thing with plastics, they fade a lot, so people put all sorts on them, back to black and stuff like that, and silicone sprays. And silicone is an absolute nightmare in the body shop. Stuff reacts to it, paint that is. So I used truck wash. I use truck wash for absolutely anything, even cleaning my pants. Truck wash is also called TFR and it is a very, very powerful degreasant. Oh mate, this tape roll is knackered, but I think that's enough. So, I've got a detailing brush, loads of truck wash, dabbed it all in the corners. I wanted to make sure, because if I didn't get in the corners, if I didn't get in all the corners with the scuff pad or the 240, I wanted to at least make sure it was squeaky clean, so whatever we paint on it now will definitely stick. Pressure washed it after that, let it dry overnight. Some of you new guys are going to be saying he don't wash his pants in truck wash. Maybe not directly, but indirectly. If you've got oily, greasy clothes, if you're a mechanic and you've got stains on your clothes, put a cup of truck wash in the washing machine. Thank me later. And if you've got a set of pants in there, they're getting cleaned with a truck wash too. I use it for everything. TFR, win-win. You guys have seen me do a lot of plastic priming lately, so I won't bore you, but for anyone who's not seen it, before you paint any plastics, that is a plastic primer. It's a 1K, so it doesn't need any hardener. I'm going to put a thin coat. Plastic primer is an adhesion promoter. The plastic primer sticks to the plastic. That will flash off in 10 minutes. Then you're going to get your high build primer and bury it, and no way is it going to peel off. Let me prime these. Literally thin, light coats. Just make sure it's applied everywhere. When it comes to high build primer, I like to put one light coat on, that then flashes off after about 10-15 minutes, and then I go in with 2 heavy wet coats, and that just fills in all the bumps, fills in all the texture. You're going to let it sit for at least 24 hours, rub it down, mint. That brings us to me outside, forgetting that I was doing the side moulding as well. Got a little bit carried away. Now some people, they're going to heat these up, they're going to get their finger behind them and they're going to pull them. They're going to bend them into a banana. No, that's not what I like to do. I have got a spray out card. It's from a body shop. It's very thin. Can you guess what it is yet? Maybe I shouldn't have used him. But I am just going to scrape it off. And you can't just run it all the way through it because we've got locators on the back of the trim clips that go into the door. So you do have to do the top and the bottom. And if I can do it in good time, I should be able to do it in this shot. You do still need to be careful because it's quite a sharp edge. You could cut into the trim. And I've got the bottom half pulled away as to not mark the van. If you're unsure, you could put some masking tape around it and then you definitely wouldn't mark it. The only problem, that was noisy. The only problem with taking the mouldings off, to get them to go on nicely, you have got to remove all of the sticky glue before applying fresh stuff. And that is an awful job, but I have just learned a revolutionary way of getting it off. To the point, it may be my new method. Well, in fact, it is. Let me get the back one off and let me show you, hope it works this time, how I get the glue off. You can already see what's going on because we've got a pressure washer out. Normally, I would carefully rub all this off and it would probably take about half an hour, 40 minutes to get the glue off of the back of these. You can't scrape them because there is a little lip. So when you stick the mould into it, you can't actually see the double-sided tape. So if you run along it with a blade, you're going to cut a lip off the plastic. It's going to look ropey, and that is not DTE approved. So I just had a thought about half an hour ago, because I've done the other side, will a pressure washer work? And it has. I've got the pressure washer set to pointy mode. Be careful, of course. Maybe put glasses on. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. Got my toe on it. You are going to get wet. It works. Come and have a closer look. I do have quite a pokey jet wash. So hopefully if you try it and your jet wash isn't as big, it still works. But yes, you can see all the glue. That has got it off. Now the last two, I did just get some paint thinners on a cloth and I just wiped the excess residue off. But getting this off was the worst. Happy days. I'm going to rub these down with 240, red scotch, plastic primer, 2-pack primer. Let's move on to something a little more interesting. We're back from dinner and it is my favourite time of the evening. Excuse me. No one's, well, there's one person here. He's a little bit noisy, but you shouldn't be able to hear him, so there'll be no interruptions. Everything is in primer. Side mouldings, front bumper, grille, everything's in primer, basically. I'm going to let that go off till tomorrow, so it's nice and rock hard. And more upgrades on the Mark IV Caddy. It's in jack-up mode. There is a 6-inch gap between the top of the wheels to the wheel arches, so we're doing a suspension replacement. Coilovers. If you've seen previous videos, you'll already know what coilovers I use. This is a bit of a low budget channel, so it's not Coney, it's not Bilstein, but this super cheap kit I use on all my vehicles. It's been on my Transporter for 20,000 miles, my Caddy for 10k miles, Darren's van, Josh's van, Pumsy's van, no he hasn't got it yet. Everyone I've spoke to have been more than impressed with the Max Peding Rods coilover kit, and that is what we've got down here in a box. I do need to strip out this black piece, all the wipers, so it's a little bit annoying, and I do normally have a helping hand, but it's the evening. My mate Pumsy, gearbox lifter, skip banger, I've just seen him at the shop. I didn't tell him because I know he's busy. Checking the microphone's on, yes. I know he's busy, missing kids, he's been at work. I wouldn't want to ask him to come and help me this evening, so I'm going to struggle on my own. But if you're a new viewer to the channel and you haven't seen any suspension videos, the boxes are quite tough to open. I don't have a blade to hand, so if you're going to open boxes, you need a specific tool for the job, because they're quite tough to open boxes. I just rip them open, bits fly out everywhere. And of course, you need safety eye protection when opening a box with the tools required. Now, if you're not opening your boxes without a disc cutter, I think you're doing something wrong. You guys need to step back a little bit because you're a little bit close. This is one of the smaller tools I've got, and I don't think it's a bit much. Do you? Take two. No mess. One little tip, don't use a chainsaw to open a box because they make a mess. Oh, it was only masking tape holding the box shut. Didn't notice that. Max Peding Rods coilover kit. You've seen videos before. Front coils, back coils, springs, shocks, instruction book. Let's get the wheels off, get it up in the air. You guys have seen me fit coilover kits, suspension kits enough times now, so I'm just going to run through it quickly. If you've ever changed a set of front shock absorbers on a Caddy, Mark V Golf, loads of other of the Volkswagen platform, the top of the strut is bolted on with these 3 bolts here, 3 13mm either side, nice and easy, I hear you say. Once you've got the scuttle panel and the wiper motor assembly out the way, you are then faced with 3 13mm bolts. The bottom side, where the nut is, the nuts are captive welded to the strut top or to the top mount. But it would seem that VW welded them with like chewing gum or spit, because any corrosion on the bolt locks up, the captive nut then spins. What a pain in the backside. I know some of you Volkswagen mechanics have already been there. Sometimes you can get a pair of pliers or mole grips or a socket from underneath. If you take the wheel arch liner out, you get even more access. I normally go straight in with an air saw and cut the head off the nut. This is a 19 plate. The bolts look pretty clean. Is my evening going to go swimmingly? There's one. There's two. Oh, is it going to be a good day? Oh, that one nearly didn't, but that's 3 out of 3. Over the other side, I have put some squirt underneath them. Bit of looby dooby, WD-40. You mother... So that one's no good. Come on, let that be the only one and I can live with it. Yes. Yes. I would love for that to have been 6 out of 6. One of them spun. I am still disappointed. I'm going to roll a little time lapse on fitting these. I don't believe I rolled a time lapse in the last video, or 2. So you're going to have one this video. Oh, I might be able to get a socket on that one. That would be lovely. I'll let you know if I do. Coilover kit, Mark IV Caddy, pure grey, incoming. Roll the time lapse. Oh yeah. Guys, favourite time of the day, echo shot. Echo, echo, echo. Can't do anything about that. We're finally in the booth. Suspension kit looks really good, super happy with that. It's parked outside and I'm finally onto the grills. These grills have taken, mic check. These grills have taken so long. Literally, if you go to a body shop and they turn you down to do it, I don't blame them. I've probably got 2 solid full days of rubbing these down, rubbing the primer down. You've got to be so meticulous, all in the grooves, all in the areas, or it's going to peel off and it's going to look terrible. I do believe TMG offer a grill painting service, and to be honest, it's money well spent. I have seen on the forums people buy the gloss black grills for the Mark IVs, Mark IIIs, and they don't fit too well and they're disappointed. Well, TMG do offer this. Check out TMG vans.shop, give them a call, ring them up, email them, text them, I don't know, send a pigeon. Anyway, I do, just get hold of them and mention that you've come from DTE TV. You get a little discount, gets me a little feedback. Anton will sort you out. If you've got a full colour coding bumper like this is a poverty spec bumper. Starline, start line. Just remember the mic box is open, so it's probably recording off this mic as well. If that audio is terrible for the past 60 seconds, I do apologise. It should be better now. Anyway, what a terrible job. The amount of time it's took, you could expect to pay just these front grills and the fog light grills. I would think for a really good job, you're going to pay 500 quid just to gloss black the grills. That is how labour intense it is. Done the rear lights earlier, done the DTE trick with a bit of blacker. That is black mixed in with the lacquer. First of all, we heavily scotched the lights down, that keyed them up, ready for paint. Taped around them because you don't want overspray all over the lights. And then we knocked up 150 ml of lacquer, and people do ask, how much black do you put in your lacquer? Well, you'll see here, I put enough in just so it tints the lacquer. Then I'll give them one coat and add accordingly. I don't have a set amount. Some guy on Facebook forums used 20% black in his lacquer and it looked really good, so maybe use that as your base. I just wing it and ding it and get it done. And speaking about dinging it, you'll already know that my lacquer, I like to warm it up. I don't have a heated mixing room, so I warm it up in the ding ding machine till it's 30 degrees, 10-15 seconds, lacquer flows out nicely, happy days. Onto the bumper. Gonna black these. Need to get the fog light bezels. Where am I gonna put them? I've got an idea. Let me get a suit on, get the mask on. Let's get these painted. These have taken a while. We are set and ready. It's all cleaned. And what I like to do, first coat, any paint. I'll put a very light coat on to see if anything's gonna go on, anything's gonna react. I'm just going to light coat everything. Nothing interesting about laying base coat down. Well, there is. But I'm going to black these up and I'll show you what I'm going to do next because it's an extra step, the extra measure. Base coat is going off and the extra step I want to do is I want to make the whole bumper pop. So when the customer turns up, it is shiny, not dull grey, shiny black. So before taping the bumper up, I did scotch down the grey with grey Scotch pad. And before lacquer time, I'm going to lacquer the whole bumper, and that way there's no edge to the black paint. So you haven't got a hard edge from the edge of the grey onto the black. And also, this does help with paint peeling, because if you can imagine there was a hard edge on my black, when you pressure washer it, stone chips, etc., can get under the black. But now the lacquer will be all sealed one coat from the grille to the bumper. That only really works on this poverty spec bumper. If it was a highline bumper, you take the grille off, but it ain't. How good, need to stand back. How good does that black look to that grey? Pure grey touches in really well, to the point I touched it in and I can't see it. Perfect. Cleaned, lacquered, no. Cleaned, tack ragged. I've got my lacquer warmed up, a full cup, 20 seconds in the microwave. Now, if you've got a heated area where your paints live, you haven't got to ding ding it every time. I haven't. Poverty spec. Now, when I said I go on with a light coat first, on all paints I said, colours, not lacquer. With lacquer, I'm going straight on with a wet coat. Not a really heavy one, just a wet coat. I'm going to show you one, and then you'll have to wait for the montage. Edges first. Oh yeah, coming out, man. Where you go? You guys need to go outside. I'm going to put a couple more coats on this. With the side mouldings, it's very well known that if you're reusing them after painting them, that they start to peel off. After brake cleaning the back of them, we did see how to get the sticky off earlier with a pressure washer. After that, I give them a quick wipe over with a cloth and some brake cleaner. That got the last of the sticky off. Then I get some plastic primer. I'll put the link in the video description. The plastic primer sticks to the back of the moulding, and then the double-sided tape literally sticks to it absolutely solid. And I do always use the red back 3M tape. Don't use the green back stuff, because that foamy stuff isn't the best. It doesn't stick too well and it's really hard to get off. Then it's a case of using a toffee wheel on a drill down the side of the panel. Don't spin it too fast, just go along it slowly, not loads of pressure. That will get all the sticky off. Then I use brake cleaner to get the last of the residue. Then I go over it again with a water-based degreasant, truck wash, as always, and then that is a clean, prepped, perfect surface to stick the new mouldings on. And then when you stick them on, locate it in one of the pins near the end of the door, line it up with the rest, and then just go along it and press it into position, and then that will end up sticking it all on rather than being unstuck somewhere. And this is a guaranteed method for them not to peel off. We are now looking at the rail covers. I've already done one side. I get all my rail covers, all my mirrors, as in Caddy Life mirrors, Julian green. If you go on to any of the forum pages on Facebook and ask for Julian green, he will supply you a few bits, but he does the rail covers, the Caddy Life mirrors. I sent him almost £800 bank transfer. The very next day, I had 3 sets of Caddy Life mirrors turn up, multiple sets of rails. He really is a good guy to buy from, a trusted seller, and it's always top-notch stuff. Right, I do apply some double-sided tape right in the middle. I did do 3 layers, and that just steps it out enough so the middle of the rail doesn't flap about. I did have a blade. Workshop swallows everything. It's quite hard to get the tape off of the back, so I use a blade. Perfect. They do come with a little plastic trim on here. You pop it off from the back with a trim tool, then it slides forward. Now we're going to pull off this inner grommet. Can I do it with my fingers? Oh, nearly. Mole grip fingers. I've pulled out the inner grommet and then supplied in the kit from Julian Green the rail covers. I have painted it, obviously. It comes with all the fixtures and fittings. Now on the back we've got the quick clip, and that pops on the inside. Then you've got 2 spire clips and 2 bolts. I've lost a bolt too. 2 spire clips go in the door. If you've got a really early Caddy, you might not have this bracket inside this door shut. So when you purchase one of these or both of these for a Maxi from Julian Green, tell him the age of your vehicle, because later facelifts and the Mark IVs, they have the bracket already. It's just a case of VW wanted more money out of you for the side rails. And also these from Julian Green, these are genuine. They're not a ling-long aftermarket. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to pop it in the back like so. It's not stuck on the middle yet. I'm now going to carefully open the sliding door without scratching the bottom of it. Nearly. There's the other bolt. Now before I do both screws up, I'm looking down it to make sure the rail cover is straight, because if you just let the weight of it hang, it might be lower at one end than the other. Both bolts done up. I heard it scrape then, so you might need to lift it up a bit more on them bolts. I'm going to do that now. Lifted it up. No scrapey, and I've just pushed that onto the double-sided tape. I don't think you have to use the double-sided tape. A lot of people just fix it there, bolt it on, but then it flaps. 3 layers of double-sided tape, solid. What else we got to do? With the headlights, and whenever I blacker stuff, I like to do 3, maybe 4 coats. And because the headlights I normally play with are a little bit older, so they're full of stone chips. So I put 3 or 4 coats on, and then you can flat and polish, and they look like absolute glass. I am so happy with them. Customer's been down today, and he is absolutely loving the van so far, which is all good. I have mentioned I like to do stuff on my own, but fitting a bumper is not one of them, because I don't want to scratch the headlights, the wing, or the new bumper. Let me go get a pair of hands. With regards to the fog lights that comes with the AliExpress kit, it's actually a really nice fog light loom that comes in the kit, all included, £101 delivered, very nice. I did mount the relay down on the crash bar, nice and tidy out the way. The earth goes to the same mounting bolt, and then because I didn't want to see the loom hanging through or hanging down the bumper, I did unbolt the lower crash bar and fed the 2 plugs that go to the lights in there. Looks nice and aesthetically pleasing. You're not going to see it with the bumpers on. With the power wire, I just went up to the positive on the battery, and then the trigger wire goes into fuse 21, I believe, in the fuse box. That's going to come on with ignition. I've got Pinch to help me out with the bumper. Fog light loom looks all right in there, Pinch, wouldn't you say? We've got LEDs in them. When you buy them, they do come with bulbs. Oh, these can go any way around, can't they? Can they? Have you look at the plug? Is there? Yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Here comes that van, right on cue to kill the shot. Let's put that there. Let's quickly try the fog lights. You're the man, Pinch, tell me. Is my wiring... 2 out of 2? 2 out of 2? Oh yeah, happy with that. And then what will happen is, because they're powered to the fuse box, I'll turn it off. They're still on. It then takes, they are still on, it then takes, I don't know, 10 seconds. Bit of a coming home light. I think so anyway, pretty sure. I knew it, just as I walked past. So now they come on, and they stay on for about 15 seconds after you've left the vehicle. Yeah, I've got him. Obviously we need to put some screws in it and a badge in it. How good does that look? Bit of you, Pinch?
Growing on me. I wasn't convinced at first.
Yeah, I like it. I'm nearly done with this one. It's nice, I like it. It's better than Nardo, the earlier grey. I've got a couple more bits to do. Let's wrap this up. This is about done. That is it, it is all done. Finally wrapped it up, given it a wash, pulled it outside. Of course, it rained in between, so we might see some watermarks. Yes, the customer has just seen it. I say customer, his name's Richard, and he's a good friend of mine too. I've fixed his motors for about 10 years. He started watching the channel as well, then gone and got a Caddy, and what an absolute belter it is. You see the fog lights just turn off there. They're wired into the fuse box. They stay on for about 30 seconds after the ignition's off. Bit of a coming home feature. Yes, I love it. I did also do the badge to match the headlights, and with the badge it's the same thing again. They're stone chipped from being right on the front of the vehicle. 3 heavy coats of lacquer, and then after it dries it does sink into the stone chips. We rubbed it down with 2000 grit and then highly polished it, and you can see the absolute flawless gloss that's left after polishing. Yes, love it. Mrs. is loving the fog lights and that front bumper. I like the wheels. It's not my usual choice of wheels, and really nice. I like them. With the side mouldings, we went for black. My pal Richard said, what colour would you paint them? I said, I'm a body colour kind of guy on the side mouldings. He said I was thinking about black. Then he said when he left, I'll leave it down to you to decide, but it's his van. We painted them black, and he was definitely right. The black, the black, the black, all ties in with the mouldings. We also done the black, or the blacker, on the back lights. Customer's request, friend's request. I didn't go super black on them. He's an older guy, he's slightly older than me. He's not a chav, so I didn't want to black him out too much. What a sweet motor that is. Loving the pure grey. Rail covers both sides. Big shout out to Julian Green for supplying them. Yeah, what's not to like, eh? Pure grey Mark IV Maxi with a tailgate. Max Peding rod suspension kit. It had standard suspension on before, and I don't know if it's just the Mark IV, but it was quite solid to drive. It was quite a rough ride. With the Max Peding rods kit, although it is lower and on coilovers, it drives so much better. And obviously we've done a couple of upgrades before today. He's got the TMG digital dash. It's all nice inside. He does want a very posh steering wheel with a carbon fibre and a gear knob. So if anyone supplies carbon fibre steering wheels that will go straight into that, let me know, because I do want one.